What's up, guys? Welcome back to Rise to Elevate podcast, interview 116. I'm the host. Marcellus Seabrook. I am a goat, but in the making. I got the one and only DJ Chuck T, and yes, I'm nervous. I'm actually going to admit it.
It's all good. Like, look, whenever he said goat, he was really talking about me. He jumped the gun a little bit, but I get that all the time. We can
add the S,
yes,
so we can say we're both goats.
Let's get it.
Yeah, man. But anyways, bro, what's up, man? You've been a busy person. You've done a lot, and do you make mistakes? That's a good way to start this.
You know what? Making mistakes. I mean, because I genuinely believe that, we don't take losses. Everything is a lesson. So you gain from everything. Even if I take an L, I'm learning, I'm processing, I'm analyzing. What could I have done differently? What could I have done better? Anytime I may, quote unquote, make a mistake, I just don't get down and out and, just stew in my misery. I always try to go back and look at the mistake and say, okay, how did I arrive at that point? And how can I move past that point and actually turn that negative moment into a positive moment? So, I mean, I will say, yes, I do make mistakes, but those mistakes are always a plus for me in the end. It's rare that I have ever made a mistake and it just completely was a all out, flat out mistake.
What age did you kind of get this drive to be able to know that, I wouldn't say the way that you speak, but you kind of have that, you're that man, you're him. What age did you kind of figure everything out? I'm kind of
Always.
Yeah.
I hate to say that because I know it sounds a little arrogant, a little cocky, but a lot of times your home environment is what breeds you to be successful. It's what breeds you to be a step ahead of everybody else. So my pops was in the military. I grew up right around the corner in Goose Creek on the Naval Weapons Station. My mom was a teacher. So I come from a very disciplined background. I come from a background where...
Are you appreciative of that?
Oh, by far.
Is it something that you were
No, by far.
My dad did
far.
this. What's some things that your parents kind of make you... not rules to be obligated to follow, but what's some stuff that you kind of had to do?
So growing up in a 2-parent household, which a lot of people just didn't have back then either, you're able to see the male-female dynamic, how it really works and how it shapes you. You're able to see how, mom is emotional, mom is nurturing, pops is the disciplinarian, he's the one who pushes you. So all of my experiences from just coming up in a 2-parent household, having 2 very, very disciplined parents who always pushed me to be successful, it just completely shaped me character-wise. You have habits and then you have character traits. All right. Habits can be changed. Habits can be good or can be bad, and they're really just a part of not necessarily who you are. All right. But they're shaped by your environment. They may be shaped by different experiences. Your character is who you are. It's hard to change your character. Yeah. If you're an all-out shitty person, there's nothing you can do to change that. That's just who you are.
To an extent, though,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie. My growing up, I was a bad person. I was doing dumb things. I was making the wrong decisions. I was hanging around the wrong people, obviously. But I was honest. I was doing bad stuff to people, and I became a good person.
Okay,
I think it's the select 0.0000001 of people that actually make it and become.
And then my thing is, now when you were out doing it, did you understand I am fucking some people over, I just don't really care? Or was it, this is the environment I'm in, I gotta sort of do this to survive? Or was it peer pressure? Because all of that changes who you are as well.
I feel
and changes
my
the circumstances.
Answer might make people mad at me, so I'm not gonna say
that. I got you. I understood. Because you have some people who are good people, they're just in a really, really fucked up predicament.
There you go. Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends, a lot of homies, a lot of people who I've just met along the way, acquaintances, business partners, who just got tied up into the wrong situation. And then they ended up in jail while they were in jail. But they've had to stab people. They've had to beat people's ass. You know what I'm saying?
That's a learning lesson for you to be I can't follow those steps. Which
no, definitely.
You know what I mean? So, but I do want to talk about, you said you lived on the naval base. Did you go to elementary school there and all that stuff too?
I went to Marrington Middle and I went to Marrington Elementary School there in Goose Creek on the Naval Weapons Station. I think it's now called Joint Base Charleston, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, you're right.
But it was still a naval weapons station.
What's something that you kind of that stuck with you the most? not even just elementary school, but like just school, like middle school, high school? Like what's something that kind of like is with you now? Like you just think about it every day. It could be good or bad.
Patriotism.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Can
Patriotism.
you describe that to some people?
You know, growing up on a military base, you know, where people are literally living and dying and fighting for your country. In order to get people to live, die, and fight for their country, you have to make them proud of their country. All right. If they're not proud of their country, they're not going to do it. Right. So patriotism was something that we learned from a very, very young age because all of our parents were going off to fight in wars. The first Iraq war, the Iraq and Iran situation, you know, like the Saudi Arabia conflict, all of that. You know, my dad was involved in all of that. So what ends up happening is, you know, you start to develop that same love for your country. The American flag is plastered all over the place. Yeah. It's plastered all. It's plastered all.
Your friends in school are exactly. Like, yo, did you ever have a temptation of ever joining the military?
Yeah.
If so, what branch?
Yeah. So I actually took the ASVAB, scored really high on it. I was about to go into the Air Force. First try.
Okay. Yeah. I know my military people be stressing over that test.
Never. Look, like I told you, my parents, they wasn't with that shit.
That's a good thing.
If it was one of those situations in my family, if I came home with like a 97 or a 98, you know, my mom would be like, oh, that's great. Right. My dad would be like, well, why you couldn't get 100? You know what I'm saying? You missed how many questions? Oh, I only got one wrong. Motherfucker, one wrong, goddammit. One? That's it?
I'm telling you, that stays with you, though, your whole life.
It does.
Everything that you do, you apply that same mentality to that, then it's like, you win.
Like, you're correct.
You really win, bro.
No.
It's appreciate cool meeting you in person, because this man is genuine what he is on the internet in person.
Yes, by far. There is no
I see it.
No faking.
And I can tell.
No faking. But
and I'm not saying people are out here. I mean, actually, no, I take that back.
There are people who
out
fake,
there doing that. But the people I surround myself with, I try not to, you know, be around people who do that stuff.
Yeah, there's only one me. There's not like a different me. Like people always say, like, oh, you know, you got to have one version of yourself and then another version of yourself for the public, and then another version of yourself for the private, another version of yourself for your family. No, this is all me.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? And when you are your authentic self, whenever you walk into any room, if people are gonna like me, they're gonna like me. If people don't like me, then they're not gonna like me.
You just can't,
and that's fine.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I'm saying? That's fine. I don't want people around me for a fake persona.
Exactly.
You know, and then I gotta smile and tap dance and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? But that again goes back to what I was talking about with patriotism. A lot of people are, you know, we've seen this as of lately. A lot of people have been talking crazy about the United States. We saw with just this past election with Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Right. People are like, oh, if Trump wins again, I'm leaving the country, this, that, and other.
There's a lot of stuff.
Not me. I'm not going anywhere. This country was built on the backs of my ancestors for free.
And you got to speak up.
So this is my shit.
You got to speak
up.
On
exactly.
That.
Yeah, this is my shit. I participate in elections. I would join the military to fight for this country. I'll do it all because my ancestors built this country with their bare hands. They were raped, beaten, sodomized, everything. So yeah, I'm not going nowhere.
When it comes to like politics and stuff like that, I don't want to dig too much on it, but like, are you confident enough to talk about it? Like some people they follow the two golden rules, like
no religion, no politics.
There you go. Boo. So like do you follow that? Obviously not.
No, I won't. I try to keep my opinions respectful, but I typically don't engage in those conversations because I know other people can, but not because of me. I don't mind talking about religion, politics, any of it, because, you know, I was raised Christian. I love God. I am very vocal about God in my life. So let's talk about it. I am very vocal about my political views. I'm very ingrained into what's going on in my community. So, I'm not necessarily aligned with a political party, but I do understand politics enough
just to be able
to know that,
put your foot down.
This is what I want, this is what I need, and this is what I expect from my elected
And I'm not
officials.
trying to be like weird, but I feel like at some point at like an age, you have to start knowing about what's going on. You can't just be oblivious to this. Like if you're like 18, 17, you know, you're not going to know about that. But it's like, you know.
Because who's going to lead the country? That's why all of our leaders are 70s, 80s. Donald Trump is almost 80 years old. He really shouldn't be. I don't feel like anybody that age should be able to not just run for public office, damn near drive,
driving.
but you shouldn't be able to make decisions for so many people because the population is below you by far.
And age wise, like I mean, mentally, you're like you're not I don't know how to.
Yeah, you're not your sharpest.
It's not that.
Yeah, you're not.
But
I
do want to talk about high school because high school kind of shapes you into who you are now. As much as people don't want to say it, all the trauma, all the good memories is something that you share today.
Yeah, no.
So how was high school for you? Where'd you go to high school?
So I started off high school at Stall. I was at Stall for probably about 7-8 months, and then I got a letter in the mail saying, "Hey, you were selected in the second lottery to go to Garrett Academy of Technology."
Wow, that's a big change.
Yeah.
That's like two opposite schools.
Yeah, it really is.
That's
so
crazy.
I went to Stall. Me and my mom went on a tour at Garrett. From the minute I walked out of there, loved it.
Oh,
I knew I was going before we walked out to school.
Yeah,
I loved it. Just the
Stall's
fact that it was a trade.
Though. Stall's gotten a little bit better.
I haven't really done my research on where they are right now.
I think the schools have kind of gotten a little better. I mean, they have to.
Hopefully.
I
know they're in a new building. They're in the same building that they were in whenever I was there. This was 95, 96.
But what's something that you could kind of like not just teach somebody, but give them advice on high school? Because there's some high schools watching this.
I tend to tell people you become who you are in middle school and high school, right? That's what shapes you. Those experiences what shape you.
That's
from I would say 7th grade to 10th grade were like the hardest years of my life because I was trying to navigate just my life, who I was as a person. I was learning about other people. I had just come from living on a military base where, everybody was pretty much uniform. And now I'm off of the base.
Crazy.
And now it was like a culture shock because now I'm dealing with people from so many different walks of life, people from different economic backgrounds. That discipline isn't there. That respect isn't there. Growing up on a military base, exactly. The morals weren't there. Like military is that code is there all the time and in every way, shape, or form. That code is there, that discipline, that drive, the morals, all that. So, those 3 grades were the hardest. And I tell kids all the time, once you get through 7th, 8th, and 9th, you're good. 10th grade was really hard. Yeah. But
I think
peer pressure.
That's the identity stage. I think 10th grade was like the year for me that I was like, all right, man, like, do I want to play basketball and stick to this one thing, or do I just try to copy everybody else and just see what everybody else is doing?
Exactly.
I took that route.
Yeah.
I did that until my coach, shout out to Coach Eaton at Wando High School. He was my teacher for my 11th grade year, and I walked in the classroom on the first day and he was like, "Yo, you were that kid that was really good at basketball for tryouts."
Oh, okay.
And you never came back.
Man, why didn't you come back? It just wasn't cool anymore.
It's just, I almost got emotional just now because I remember when I don't know. It's crazy. But no, man, I think it's just interesting because your dreams can come true if you really change your life. If you change your morals and everything that you kind of learned from high school and define what you believe in, because you're stuck around a bunch of kids for so long that it's like, it's hard. You're not home all the time. It's a full-time job.
It is.
Like that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, because you're in school literally 7 to 8 hours.
Monday through Friday.
And that's why, like, when my oldest son is 21, when he used to come home from school, he used to crash. And I was like, damn, bro, like it's like you come home and you sleep like you worked a full-time job. Yeah. And he really did.
Yeah.
Especially in high school. My youngest is in high school now, but they got to be up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
The bus comes at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And then they're there until 2:15ish. Yeah. My oldest son, he ran track.
So how can they not be addicted to cell phones?
Exactly.
Because that brief time, that 5 a.m., that takes an hour to get ready. By the time you're waiting for the bus or you're sitting in the car, I just bring phones up a lot because I really do believe phones are hurting us.
Well, it's not just necessarily the phones, but screen time in general. There's a study that shows that people's attention spans the more you use your phone, the shorter your attention span is.
That's crazy.
All right. And they've tested it in kids with autism. They've tested it in kids who aren't on the spectrum. They've tested it amongst different social groups, different ethnicities. And the longer you spend on your phone or in front of a screen, your attention span just reduces by far.
Should make sense. I mean,
by far.
I feel like when people watch like 4 TikToks in a row, it's instant like brain dead. They're like,
So
There's no way they're not.
It's
like,
dopamine. So
yeah.
I read I read the study, and dopamine is a drug that naturally your body produces. Exactly, and it's free. It's a free drug because my body produces it. But anytime you're happy, anytime you're excited, anytime you laugh, anytime you get aroused, like you get a shot of dopamine. Yeah. And when you're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and you're scrolling through funny videos, boom, every time you see a video that you like or that you enjoy or that's funny, your body gives off a shot of dopamine to your brain. And now you're addicted, and that's why people scroll. We call it doom scrolling.
What's some ways, or what do you do to prevent this screen time?
Man, look, I try to read.
Yeah.
I try to read. I try to read as much as possible. I read books, like real books.
Actual paper.
I have a library downstairs. I have books in my room. I have books in my office. I have books on religion.
What's your favorite book?
Oh man, so really my morning devotionals are my biggest.
Okay.
Because they're short, sweet, they're to the point, and they tell me what I need to know. They keep me grounded. And I read 3 or 4 morning devotionals every day.
Busy man.
Yep, very busy. So one devotional will be based around spirituality, around religion, and then another devotional that I will read will be built around practical knowledge.
How'd you get into that? Was that just something you were like, all right, I need something to kind of just balance me out? Because we all need to find that zen.
My background, my mom. Look, my mom was deep in the church. Like I said, she was a teacher, but she was very, very deep in the church. So it was Bible study. It was church. It was morning devotionals. Like, that's just a habit of mine. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good habit to have. Some people need to pick up a journal too. Like, if you really don't have no way to like express your feelings, or you're feeling bundled up, or you don't have anybody to kind of like let it out to, a journal will listen to you all day.
Yeah, you got to be careful with the journals though. Yeah. Look, I had a homie, he left his journal somewhere, somebody found it,
shoot.
His girl read it and was like, oh my god, you did all of this stuff. Yeah, it was bad.
I feel like at that point it's kind of like that's entanglement stuff right there. No,
look,
but it's like that.
Look at I'm telling him, like, bro, why would you write that in your journal? Like, that would be between me and God. I would never wrote that. I don't need
a written confession.
I don't need to write that down to know that I fucked up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to reflect on this. I knew when I did it that I fucked up. But so no, I don't need a journal.
Some people don't know when they fuck up. You know, it's just how it is. Like, it's just a human thing that people kind of like. It's not a delusional thing, but it's like people go through things and feel like they can get over it on someone again. Yeah. Like, they get through it once, so now they can do it again a third time. And then it just becomes like, all right, if I did it to them, then I can go do it to 5 other people. Yeah. You know, and then it becomes like a never ending like habit. I mean, dude, I don't know. I'm all about like body language, and I meditate. You meditate?
Yes, definitely.
I get like a full like 30-second like flash when I have a meditation of like who I am, who I'm gonna become, and it's slowly becoming that. And I just think it's I think it's beautiful, man. I can't even like even talking in front of all this and you being here. Yeah. It's dude, it's just an honor. But I do want to kind of talk about the Buzz in the City.
Who's buzzing?
Who's buzzing?
Yeah, the mic drop platform. Sure.
Yeah, who's because buzzing? It's new now. It's just starting to.
I just really started to, you know what I'm saying, get it moving and shaking.
Yeah, because we actually just met today. This is our first time. Shout out to B Sheezy. I saw your picture of him, and I was like, homie. Yo, I'm surprised I've never reached out to you. You know what
man.
I mean?
He works extremely hard. Shout out to B Sheezy, man.
He's a grinder, bro. We had him. He needs to come hop back on. But it's just cool to see people in the city, especially in Charleston, finally try not just take the initiative to get their voice and their craft and what they love out, but it's like, we need to blow up. What do you think is holding Charleston back from blowing up? Man, comfortability. Yeah. Most people are comfortable here being local superstars, being the person that everybody knows. It's hard to go from being that guy to going to another city and being a nobody. You got to start over doing showcases. You got to kiss. You got to shake hands and kiss babies. Yeah, you may have to kiss a hand. You may have to, you know what I'm saying, kiss the ring, depending on who's in charge in that particular area. Right. But I feel like a lot of people, they're scared, you know, and then a lot of people just don't have it in them to do it twice.
twice. You know, it takes a lot to become a household name here in Charleston. So then just knowing that I have to go to Columbia, I got to go to Charlotte, I got to go to Wilmington, Fayetteville, I got to go down to Savannah, I got to do Greensboro, Raleigh, Durham, and I got to start over every time I do that. You know, like, sometimes mentally they're not up for it. To me, I love the challenge. Financially as well.
Big one right now.
Financially they're not up to it.
There's so much talent that is in Charleston alone, and it's just, I want to, like, you know, the drive part, but the financial part is just something that right now in the world we live in, it's hard.
Yeah, inflation.
You know, like, it's so inflation. Hard to do anything.
In the music business, to be honest with you, it's not more expensive as being successful in any other field.
You got to do mix and masters. You got to do a music video. You got to do, you know, there's like 4 steps. I hear it all the time, and I just think I'm glad I'm not a rapper.
But listen, there's so many people that I know of who went to college and they spent $70, $80, $100, $120,000 on college, and then they come out. And they first off, they got to do like an internship or some type of residency before they even start getting paid. And then whenever they do get paid, they get paid $40,000, $50,000 a year. If you were to take $150,000, $100,000, even $80,000 over the course of 4 years and put it into your music, I guarantee you will be making the same amount, if not more. So I just feel like what it is we have this expectation that music is supposed to be cheap, easy, and I'm supposed to blow up overnight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if I wanted to be a doctor or if I wanted to be a lawyer, I have this mental picture in my head that is going to take me 8 to 10 years just of school alone. Right. All right. I'm going to have to dedicate, 10 hours a day. I'm going to have to eat, sleep, and shit, doctorate work, or becoming a lawyer. I gotta really live that life, and I know that it's hard, and I know it's a long process.
The thing that shocks me too is like a lot of these, not even just artists, but people think that when they do blow up, what are you going to do after you blow up?
Yeah, I mean, blowing up is really the hardest part. When I talk to artists who have blown up, quote unquote, quick, they always say like, man, that was not the best thing for me. Yeah. Because I wasn't ready for the long haul. Everything. And then I had to catch up with my record. I wasn't aware that, putting 100,000 or putting 400, excuse me, not 100,000, putting 100,000 or putting 40, 50, $60,000 into radio for my record was going to make it blow up so quick. Now I'm sitting here trying to play catch up with the record. Yeah. And that's what happens when people don't know. They'll know the song. They don't know the name of the person. That means you got to catch up with the record. What they're doing
right now, they're like ready to go. You know, who's like somebody you kind of, and if you don't want to answer this, but I love asking little spicy questions. Who's the artist that you kind of saw before they blew up? And they blew up, and then they're gone. Because we've all seen it. I can name somebody. Like, you think about...
Mims. Do you remember that song, This Is Why I'm Hot?
Yeah, This Is Why.
Yeah, This Is Why I'm Hot. Mims. I remember meeting him whenever I was in New York, when I was really, really heavy in the mixtapes. Yeah. So I would go to New York every now and then just to sort of check the trap. You know what I'm saying? Because New York was the mecca of mixtapes. I had a lot of distributors up there, a lot of stores up there. But I remember meeting Mims like right as he got his deal. And then, man, shortly thereafter, boom, the record was everywhere. I'm like, yo, I just met him. Like, okay. And then shortly thereafter, it's like, did that
make you not grind harder, but be like, man, I need to kind of invest my time in different people and stuff like that to kind of...
No, is that your no, because that's just the industry.
Yeah, no. What's your like? What's your, yeah, right.
Yeah, that's just
that's why I was like, what's your main intentions and goals, or in your life? Like, what's your main goal in life right now?
Right now is education.
Okay.
All right, educating people on the business of music. I've seen way too many people have hit records, go on these big tours, sell a lot of albums, get a lot of streams, and then they don't have the money to show for it. They have no idea where the money went. They have no idea how much came in. They don't know how much was spent to get them where they were at. And they have no idea, like, what are their rights as an artist or producer or the CEO of a label. I've seen a lot of CEOs of independent labels put a lot of money in the artists, and these artists one day wake up and don't want to rap.
Did they teach you this in school?
No. Oh, hell
That's what I'm saying. So it's it's really like you got to go out there and put
and there's a lot of false information and misinformation out here. So when I started the Foundation of Music, which is my music business course, I've aimed to get away from that. Like, I'm going to do the work for you. I'm going to study. I'm going to dig deep into just the music business in general, and then I'll be able to teach it to artists,
so is that
DJs,
how you started
producers, and everywhere.
No,
that's recent. So before I started DJing, I was rapping.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
your rap
rapping.
name?
Priest, because I used to bless the mic.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I was part of a group called PCP. I'm genuinely one of the pioneers of Charleston rap.
I believe that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Genuinely one of the pioneers of Charleston rap.
Like, what do you say, like, to some people who don't know you, though? Like, what do you want people, like, if some people are watching this now and they don't know you, which I'm not saying it like that, but definitely, what's your message to people? Because for me, it's like, I'll change the world, which I'm already in the works.
Gotcha, no, that's real.
You see what I mean?
That's real.
So, like, what's your
my message to people would be let me word this the right way. Make sure you treat people right. Make sure you pay it forward whenever somebody treats you right. Let's make the world a better place. Let's get back to morals and values and taking care of each other and looking out for each other, because we have this whole every man for himself mentality. We have this whole cutthroat mentality, and that's not how we came up. That's not how black people came up. That's not how this country came up. That's not, just the overall way the world has worked. How it works now is totally different. Everything is cutthroat. But when you start looking at ancient, it doesn't have to be. When you look at ancient civilizations, whether they be Asian civilizations, African civilizations, the Aztecs, the Mayans, you know what I'm saying, the Egyptians. Even here with the Native Americans, you know what I'm saying, or the people indigenous to the Americas, man, you start looking at how they lived, and their cultures were just really, really built on morals and values and family. Love, exactly. Respect.
Thing. That's
it. You know what I'm saying?
Not everybody's going to like you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I don't mean to bring that up randomly, but it's like some people need to understand that. Like, if your neighbor doesn't like you, you can still be nice to them.
Exactly, yeah.
You don't have to be hostile. And I was going to bring this up, earlier you were talking about how, like, you're talking your shit and stuff like that. And I think that's a fine line of being able to talk your shit and still be humble and help people.
Of course.
You see what I mean? And you do that. So when did you start doing the live performances and, like, going in that direction to not just help your, city or wherever you're based out of currently, but artists? Like, you're helping thousands of artists, even if you don't feel like it.
So when I listen to billionaires, all right, billionaires, even millionaires, because you had to start off as a millionaire to get the billionaire status, they always say the one way or the way to really be successful in business is to find a problem and solve it. Find what people need and solve that problem.
Correct.
All right. That means that you have to actually get out here and talk to people.
Correct.
And see what is it that you need? Yeah. What is it that you're missing? What do you feel like would make your life
What's the
better?
number one thing that you've kind of heard the most? I know we've kind of already covered that, but like, just going in public, like, and meeting people, what's something you hear the most? It's
whenever it comes to the music business,
just anything.
So with the music business is morals and values.
Yeah. Okay.
People automatically expect the music business to be shady, to be cutthroat, and it is. But in order for us to change it, we got to start putting the love back into it. And if not the love, the respect.
Yeah.
All right, let's put the respect back into it. Same thing with just in the world in general. We've seen, and it was this way before Trump. It was just closeted. All right. But when Trump got elected, we saw an uptick in just overall hate on so many different sides. Everybody could blame this person, blame that person.
Social media was,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we got to get back to loving each other and caring about each other, because whenever I turn on the TV, I see our enemies are forming against us, and I see that people aren't respecting America.
It's good versus evil.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Every day it's good versus evil.
I see it all the time. People aren't respecting America like they used to. So if we're busy fighting amongst ourselves, white versus black and Asian versus black and
rich versus poor.
Yeah, rich versus poor. Yeah. That's why all these other countries are forming around us, and they bucking up against the United States because they see we over here basically defeating ourselves from the from the
we're in
inside.
shambles right now.
You know what I'm saying?
I try not to talk about being in the U.S. a lot, but we're going to Japan next year for a month, and you know what I mean. I have a couple interviews out there. Shout out to you if you're watching this. And I just think it's crazy because I see myself not living in the U.S. Like I really do think I'm gonna move to somewhere in Europe and start doing it.
Go over there. You'll be back.
Still, like, you know,
I'm about to say you'll be back. Go over there. It's cool to visit,
though.
but you'll be back.
Have you been out of country?
Yes, I have been
Where
out
have
of
you been?
country. Man, I've been so many different places. Man,
What's your like favorite top place to travel to? It could be in the States.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I went to Mexico twice. Didn't like it.
Yeah.
Canada was too much like the United States.
How so?
Because we're literally right next door
you
to each
other.
other.
You need a passport for that too,
you know
right?
what I'm saying? Yeah, you need a passport
and
for
all
that
the
as
shots.
well.
You need shots to get in.
No. Not Canada and Mexico. You walk right in there, bitch.
Okay.
Most countries you can just walk right in, especially if you're an American. But from one of the things that I saw overseas, especially when you start talking about going to the UK and places like that, Europe in general, they look down on us as Americans. Before they used to, American, like, they loved us. Now they be like, oh, American, my God.
They're probably so.
Yeah, so
I mean, unless you go to like England and stuff, this is something, and don't quote me or anything. But they'd be like, whenever they see black people, it's praising, like, because they're not used to seeing black people in the, like Europe or China.
Definitely,
you know what I mean?
in
So
Asia, they're definitely not used. They're definitely not used to seeing us. Excuse me, they're definitely not used to seeing us. But I do want to go to Africa. That is the one place I have not been. I need to go put my feet in the soil of the homeland.
Yeah.
You
What's
know what
like your next big move right now currently? And we don't have to talk about it either, but it's just something that like you kind of want to just tell people like what's the next big move?
We talked about high school earlier. So I went to Garrett Academy of Technology. It was shut down in 2020. Ever since then, we've sort of just been all over the place. Not just my class. I graduated in 99, but I'm in all of the Facebook groups for our classes. I meet people all the time.
Reunion yet?
We don't. Yeah. That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, it's hard for us to put anything together in any of the classes. Right. And when I see stuff about reunions, it's like, the bowling alley, or we're going to like a bar. I'm like, what kind of shit is this? I'm not saying
y'all is your age, but I know y'all aren't that boring, bro.
No, I'm saying this is even the class of 2019.
That's crazy.
Yeah, all of it's just so basic and thrown together last minute. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna do a reunion for all classes. So March 1st. I'm using my position with the Hornets. I'm using my leverage and just my overall connections, and we doing a all class reunion for Garrett Academy of Technology. All 26 years, we're gonna be at the Spectrum Center. Yep, we're gonna be at the Spectrum Center.
Bro, you're a goat.
Thank you.
This man's a goat. That's crazy. So how did that kind of like? I mean, was that the real reason why it all started, or is it something?
No, that was the real reason why it all started. I would just be on Facebook, and I would see different things from my classmates and people from classes before and after mine, and they would just be like, hey, it's hard for us to put together this reunion. It's hard for us to put together this homecoming. Why isn't anybody participating?
You're a real one, bro.
This, that, and other. I said, don't worry, I'll take care of it.
Because you're a busy man, bro. And for you to just take time out to do that, you're helping. Like, bro, I know I said
we need it. Like, I need it. Like, we need that time of fellowship. And that's what keeps people from being grounded whenever they turn their back on where they're from and the people who really know them. All right, so the people who really know you can't fake and be phony around them. They know you. They grew up with you. They was with you every day.
Now we got social media. So
exactly. Now we got social media. Exactly.
It's weird, man. It's kind of scary because it's like having a follower with ghost followers.
Exactly.
Without them even talking to you or nothing, and they just see your whole life. I do want to talk about the Hornets, though. Shout out to LaMelo Ball. I love that man. Yeah. But like, how did that go about? Like, how did you even get into doing it? I know you probably have talked about it a lot, but I just kind of want my people to kind of know because, dude, I remember when you started the music industry night. Yeah. And I was like, bro, he is a game changer. So you don't do any other NBA people do that?
None of them do it.
Yeah, that's
none of them. And I've gone to a few other teams. We'll get to that. Let me one question at a time. Let me answer the first.
I've been ready for this one now. I've been saving this one, dog.
So with Hornets Music Industry Night, the NBA has always had a love-hate relationship with hip-hop. I mean, naturally, you have people like Shaq, AI, Kobe Bryant, Damian Lillard, they all have rapped. You know what I'm saying? Shaq is a platinum rapper. Yeah. And then just the way the players dress, the way they act, you know what I'm saying? The hairstyles, everything is all hip hop. I mean, granted, 95% of all the players are black, right. And they come from, inner city backgrounds and things of that nature. But hip hop and the NBA have always sort of gone hand in hand. With the Charlotte Hornets, they wanted to tap into that market. The team needed to be
genius.
Cool. Yeah, the team needed to be cool. The team needed to be hip. The team needed to be fun.
Look at Drake. Like, Drake's an icon for his team.
Yeah, for Toronto.
So
exactly.
It's starting to become like a staple for NBA teams.
And you see Boosie. He's at the Atlanta Hawks game. He's
at every single New Orleans game.
Yep, he's at every single. And then you see J. Cole is now part owner of.
I saw that.
The Hornets. But when they came to me with Music Industry Night, they found me because, like I always tell people, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I constantly promote. I constantly put my name out there. There's never a downtime for me. So they picked up the phone and called me.
That like you were kind of like, what was going on before that happened though? Like, I know you said you were rapping, you know what I mean? But what was really happening?
No. I was DJ Chuck T, and I was DJ Chuck T every day. I was in all of the major clubs in Charlotte.
That was your main focus.
Yeah, I was moving and shaking.
Focus.
Yep, and I was just starting to get into the music education part of what I do. I had my music business class was literally just starting to get put together and starting to bubble. So the people from the Hornets put a APB out for who's the hottest person in the city, who's the person who's
that
not
has
only
to feel good though.
Yeah, no, it definitely felt good.
That's a big achievement to be able to come from where you're from. How'd your peoples take it? Like,
everybody loved it.
Yeah,
everybody loved it. So, like I said, they put that APB out. They wanted somebody who was ingrained in the hip hop culture, who wasn't too old but wasn't extremely young. Somebody who was active on the entertainment side, but also knew the business and could help them actually plan the event, map it out, run the event, host the event, pull in the big names, put it all out, and boom, my name came up a few times, and they ended up reaching out to me, and we sat down and got it all together.
How do you balance everything that you do in your life?
Oh man, there's no balance.
You don't think so?
Yeah, no. There's no such thing as balance.
So how do you maintain everything? Is it just you're him?
You look, that's the easiest. Listen, that's the easiest thing I can say, because people always talk about a work-life balance, and when you own multiple businesses, what's the balance? How do you achieve this? How do you not achieve that? How do you do this? How do you not do that? And it's really prioritizing. There is no balance. What is the priority right now?
Yeah,
exactly. So my priority right now is Music Industry Night. Everything is second.
Which you're doing a great job, bro.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's cool to see like your YouTube channel starting to come up. What's your social media?
Everything is at DJ Chuck T. Yep. Everything. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. And I advise everybody to do the same thing. Lock down all of the social media platforms. Along with the website. Make sure you have your website name. Even if there's nothing up there, get the name.
I'm trying on the website. That website gave me a headache. I had somebody tell me a price on it. I was like, man,
you better
do that myself.
Man, you better go on WordPress. I do my website
one
myself.
Step at
WordPress.
a time, you know what I mean?
But lock it down. Lock down the name so nobody can steal the name. Because I can tell you this. Once this interview comes out, there's gonna be people who are watching it, and culture vultures. There's gonna be just vultures in period. They gonna go in there and they gonna say, okay, Rise to Elevate. .com is still available. I'm gonna buy it for $25, and then when he comes to me, I'm gonna sell it to him for $1,000.
It is, and that's kind of why I've been like chilling.
Yeah, man. Go on GoDaddy. It's $25, $30.
Yeah, I'm going
GoDaddy.com.
Actually, I'm gonna do it right now.
Man. GoDaddy.com. Lock that thing
bro,
down.
I'm like, I'm in for the ride, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm here to just spread a message. Money has never really been a big priority for me, because I've always had what I want and needed, and I've gotten everything I want. Shout out to my beautiful girlfriend, soon to be wife. Shout out to my team. So it's like, how do you think you need a team to do what you kind of do, or is this something that you're comfortable with doing by yourself?
You need connections. You need a So you need a network. You don't need a team.
Okay, I like
you need a network, because I don't have a team. I don't have any people who
marketing
who work with me on a daily basis.
Social media,
but I have a network, so I can pick up the phone and call this person if I need this. I can pick up the phone and call this person
who
if I need that. Exactly. Even when I go out of town, people are like, man, you just went out of town by yourself. I'm never by myself, because I know so many people in so many different places, and I have a network. If I were to pick up the phone, if I pick up the phone right now, so let's say I get booked in Colorado, I got 10, 15 people I can call in Colorado. Hey, I'm gonna be there on Friday, bro. I'm gonna touch down in the city. You know, you can come with me here, come with me there, or roll with me there.
T's name big.
Exactly.
That's a goal. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to push it out as much as possible, getting the BT, getting all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? But I do want to ask you this one question before we go.
Go ahead.
How do you always be yourself when you wake up?
Because it's all I know how to be. And I've never wanted to be anybody else because I've always felt that, and I know this is cliche, I've always felt like I'm him. I've always felt that way. I've never looked at another man and said, that's who I want to be. I've been influenced by moves that people have made. Like, damn, that was dope as hell. Like, man, I love the fact that he or she did this. I love the fact that he or she accomplished that or they did that. Man, I want to do the same thing as well. But I've never looked at somebody and idolized them. I've always said, I'm just as cool as they are. I'm just as smart as they are. I can be just as hot as they are.
And I think that's something that people, not even adults, but kids battle right now.
So you got to build that confidence. That confidence has been built in me from the time I was a child. I tell so many people we have to instill in our kids that they can do anything and they can be anything if they put the work in and if they focus. You know, so many times I hear people talk about, oh yeah, my parents didn't tell me this, or my parents didn't tell me that, or my parents didn't teach me this, or, you know, I had to sort of figure things out on my own. I never really had to do that. And if I did, I knew that it was a test that my parents were doing. We got your back, but we gonna let you figure this out on your own.
Yeah, you
exactly. We gonna let you go out here and crash, or we gonna let you fly.
You were raised good, bro.
Either one. Yeah, no. I give my parents the most respect, the most credit for who I am and what I've become. And really not just my parents. A lot of it is your environment as well. Right. Because once you get to a certain age, you're no longer around your parents. We talked about earlier, you at school 8-9 hours a day. Yeah. So it's the teachers, it's the kids, it's how they're raised, it's how they weren't being raised. It's all of that.
At your age, growing up, that's what it was. Now, what do you think it is now? It's a whole, different ball game now.
Yeah, because you mix in social media. Because we came in. So where I'm at, I was born in 81, so I graduated high school in 99. We were able to experience life like no other generation.
You lived life.
Yeah, we
were actually living.
Exactly. We were able to play outside, and then we were able to get on the internet. Yeah. All right. We were able to play sports, but then we also had Atari, Nintendo, Sega Genesis. The best of the best. Exactly. So we had both. So I'm able to see things from a different lens.
Real quick, I gotta ask that.
Gladiator. Or 300. Or 300, either one.
No, I like 300
Gladiator
better,
or 300.
Especially when he kicked him down in the well.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I like movies like that. I like the old army movies, war movies.
I didn't want to talk too much more, but did you ever thought about going in the direction of acting or?
Oh, I act. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I've been in a few movies.
Yeah.
Yep. I've been in a few movies. So there's a movie out right now called First Day Out. You can watch it on Tubi, Amazon Prime, or whatever.
I should have really did more research.
Yeah. And
that's
then,
crazy though, man.
I just shot a cameo for a TV show called North Cack the series. Wow. We got a director down in Charlotte by the name of Ty Durden.
What's your favorite type of thing about acting and stuff like that? Like, is it like being able to rehearse the
No, see, the bad part about me is I just improv my lines. Like, I'll read the script to get a roundabout idea of what I'm supposed to be saying, and then I'll just go off and do my own thing.
That's you though.
No, it's me. It makes it, in my opinion, more spicy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? More original. So in First Day Out, I only had 3 lines. You know what I'm saying? But when you go watch the movie, you see I got a whole segment.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, y'all ain't about to 3-line me. No. Y'all ain't about to just use my name for promotion. Exactly. Yeah, we gonna give him 3 lines, and then we're gonna say Chuck is in the movie. Like, I'm not doing that. I
feel like it's helping you too, though.
No, it definitely does. It adds to my resume. You know what I'm saying?
That's good, man. That's cool. I think it's inspirational, especially because I didn't know that. You would meet you and you would not think that you kind of act, and then
man, I do it all.
We did the promo, and I'm like, okay, I like this.
Gotcha.
Because I'm working on a movie. It's probably not going to come out until I'm 35, but it's going to be very intense.
Why 35? What about 35?
I don't want to really talk about
how many years are you away from 35?
I'm 26.
Okay, so that's like 9 years.
I'll just describe this. So I'm going to basically collect a bunch of dreams. Let's just say that. And I'm going to make a movie out of it.
Okay.
If that makes sense. That's all I'm going to say. I don't want people to take my idea now.
But, no, understood. But I wouldn't wait till I'm 35. Yeah. That's 9 years. A lot can happen in 9 years.
Think about,
don't overthink it. You look like an overthinker, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just who I am.
Look like an
and where I came from. Like, I don't have a good background, the parents and stuff. And
have you ever heard of analysis paralysis?
That's where you're sleeping, right?
No.
Or what is
That's where you think so hard about your next move that you never actually do it because you're over analyzing.
Correct.
And you never actually execute.
And I feel like I've never had that, but I've just been trying to focus on one thing. I mean, you see this right here.
Yeah.
Like, this has been my main focal. Shout out to my partner, Frank. He's been pushing the rise of gaming where we do gaming tournaments. We're promoting other gamers, clips, and stuff like that. Trying to help people because that's what people do now is game.
Yeah, gaming is big.
COVID changed gaming a lot.
Even with music, sync licensing is where it's at. Yeah. Sync licensing is anytime you put your music with a fixed or still or moving image in video games of that.
And I think it's dude, you think about 2K, Madden. Like if your song gets into that game, it's over.
Exactly. But, Call of Duty,
Fortnite.
Definitely Fortnite.
It's pretty crazy. But dude, this has been beautiful.
Definitely.
Interview 116. I got the one and only DJ Chuck T.
We in this thing.
It's been beautiful, bro. Definitely lived up to the hype. The only thing that I could say could be better is that we could do it longer. But
understood.
Other than that, man.
Well, I'm gonna be here in Charleston a whole lot more. So we gonna get it in.
Like you said, you have to be prepared for moments like stuff that comes to you. You got to be ready when it's ready.
So about 90% of all of the good opportunities that have come my way have come when I wasn't expecting it.
Wow.
Yep.
How'd you
about
that?
90%.
How'd you
stay ready.
Full steam?
I stay ready. I stay ready.
Never give up.
Yes, sir. I stay ready. I stay ready.
Thank you. I love you guys. If you guys got time, make sure you guys go subscribe, like, comment. Make sure you follow him on all social medias. His social media is going to be down below.
At DJ Chuck T on everything.
Everything. I love you guys. Remember, stay true to yourself, and the only way to achieve your dreams is through you. No one else is going to do it. You got to get up every single day and grind harder than you did yesterday, the day before that, the 5 years before that.
Exactly.
And even after I just said that. Yeah, that's it. Love you guys. Peace.